إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We give thanks to Him. We believe that there is no one worthy of worship except Him alone. May His salat and His salam be upon the last of the prophets of Allah, Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and to those that follow the footsteps of the prophets. And inshallah, tonight we continue from our last discussion and the explanation of the topic on an-najasat, the impurities and the manners on how to purify them. Last week we explained the meaning of impurity in Islam, and we said that the word that we use for impurity is an-najasa. We also made mention of the two types of the impurity that we have. That one has to be najasatun ayniyya, what is naturally created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of impurity. It is used for any substance that it is naturally impure. An example of al-kalb, the dog, wal-khinzir, the pig. Then we also have another type of impurity, najasatun hukmiyya, what is naturally pure, but due to the coming out of certain things that Islam has regarded as impurities from the body, then it gives the body the ruling of impure. Once any impurity comes out from the body, so that body will be regarded as impure, which needs to be purified by the manner that Islam has stipulated. Then today, inshallah, we continue from the second issue on this. Al-mas'alatu al-thaniya, al-ashya'u allati qama ad-dalilu ala najasatiha. The substances that there are evidences to establish their impurity. We said last week that it is wrong for someone to label any creature of Allah as impure, to say that this material is impure. this material is najis. This material carries impurity, najasa. So we cannot say that, you cannot identify any material to be like that, except what the evidence, either from the Quran or from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has come to establish. Because that word an-najasa is Sharia legal term. A Sharia legal term, before we apply it on any material, there should be a reference from the Quran or from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if there is no any hadith, if there is no any reference from anywhere, the authentic reference, then we should maintain that all things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created are pure. Quran chapter 2, Surah 2, At-Tawbah, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 29. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. It is Allah who has created for you all things on earth. For us, He created all things for us, for our own use. And on this angle, the scholars will say that al-aslu fil ashya at-taharatu wal-ibaha. The basis, the ruling, guiding all things generally, of clothes, of liquid, of anything that you can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, aside the mode of worship, the kinds of worship, all things, the material things, the scholar will say that the basis, the principle guiding the ruling of all things is that they are pure, and also they are halal for us. So if someone will now say that no, this particular thing is impure, that person should provide an evidence either from the Quran or from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because the basis for all things is that everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, Allah created it pure. Clothes, the garments that we wear, they are all pure. All kinds of water, they are all pure. All different species of fish, they are all pure. All animals, everything. But if there's a reference, either in the Quran or in the hadith, that says that this particular creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is impure, then you minus that from the general ruling. So this is the topic, that what are the things that there are references in the Quran or in the hadith of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to justify their impurity. Number 1, بول الآدم وعذرته وقيئه. بول الآدم, the urine of any human being, the urine that comes out from any human being. When we say human being, it involves a man or a woman. It involves a young or an adult. It involves a day child. It involves any human being of any kind. So Bawlul Adami, any urine that comes out from any human being, there is a reference that that urine is what? Is impure. Then wa'udratuhu, and his feces, the feces of any human being, whether the person is an adult or a young person, the person is 90 years, or the person is a day old, is a woman or a man, a male or a female, the feces of any human being, there's a reference that the feces is what? Is impure. Then وَقَيْءُهُ Qay'u is vomit. The vomit of any human being. According to the authors of this book, they listed it as part of the first thing that there are references to establish their impurity. So the vomit of any human being, whether the person is a male or a female, the young or adult, then his what is also impure. So let's take it one by one. Bawl al-Adami. All the scholars of Islam, they agree to this. They agree that Bawl al-Adami, the urine of any human being, وَعُذْرَتُهُ, and also the feces of any human being, both are impure. All the scholars, they agree on this. No disagreement. Al-Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah, in his explanation in Sahih Muslim, in his book Al-Minhaj Sharh Sahih Muslim, he said, وَأَجْمَعَ الْعُلَمَاء وَأَجْمَعَ الْعُلَمَاءُ عَلَيْهِ. All the scholars, they agreed on that. That urine of a human being is what? Is impure. Is najis. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah, in Quran chapter 5 verse 6, when He is teaching us on how do we relate with the aspect of purification before salat, Allah says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ to the end. Allah says that أَوْ لَامَسْتُمْ إِذَا جَاءَ أَحَدُكُمُ الْغَائِطُ. When any one of you should go to release his feces. Al-Ga'id is a place where we release our feces. But the name of the place is given to the name of the substance that we release. Ga'id, that's the substance, that is the feces. So originally the name is for that place, is for the toilet. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدُ مِنْكُمْ مِنَ الْغَائِطِ. And there is no way that you will go to release feces that you will not urinate. So the ruling guides the feces, guides the urinate. So in that angle, we see that there is a reference in the Quran to establish the impurity of urine and feces. Then we have the hadith of Anas bin Malik in Sahih Muslim, when an Arab Bedouin, that is one Arab from the village, when he came to the city of Medina, after performing ablution, he entered the mosque of the Prophet ﷺ in Medina. He observed 2 rakats. Then he went to one angle of the mosque. He urinated. While he was urinating, the companions saw him. They wanted to beat him. Are you stupid? Why are you doing this? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Utruku wa la tuzrimuhu." Leave him, don't stop him. Because he said that to them in order for them to learn how to correct people. When someone involved in spreading evil or doing evil, we should know how to correct it so that evil will not be more spread. So if by the time they want to beat this person, he will be running, from them, and as he's running from them, he will be urinating, and every part of the mosque will become najis. The man said, "No, uturku, leave him." That's the thing, that leave him does not justify that yes, we can go to the mosque and urinate, or does not justify that urinate is what is urine. Urine is pure. It doesn't justify that. He said, "No, uturku wala tazrumuhu." Don't disturb him. So when the man finished that act, the Prophet commanded his companions that those who wanted to beat him, get a bucket of water and pour it on the urine. by that, we know that, we discover that urine is what? Is najis. It's najasa. It has impurity. Urine is naturally impure. If not, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will not commanded anyone to pour water to wash it off, to purify the place where that urine stays. Then, as we said, the same ruling guiding the urine, guiding the feces. But as in the case of the vomit, the scholars do not have agreement of opinion on that. There are differences among them. Some of them believe that yes, qa'i is part of it. And this is the opinion of the majority of the scholars. Some said no, qa'i, vomit is not. After all, it's not feces and it's not urine. But those scholars who have the opinion that vomit is part of impurities, they say that it is the same place where the feces stay. The same place is where anything you vomit comes out. So to them, it's just like when you allow feces to come out from your mouth. That's their own basis. We have some companions who have this opinion. So it is a point of controversy among the scholars. It is not a generally accepted opinion. Then they said, "Illa bawlu sabi." But as in the case of the urine of a child, alladhi lam ya'kul at-ta'am, that has not been eating food. That has not been eating food. That is, that child is still under breastfeeding. Any child that is still being breastfed by his mother, then that child is the one talking about. So his urine also is impure. It's impurity. But the manner of purifying the place where that urine touches is different from the way we purify the place that the urine of general human beings touch. So a male child that has not been eating food, then his urine is also impure. But if his urine touches your clothes, how do you purify it? Is it by washing? No. By sprinkling water on it. We have reference for that. فَيَكْتَفِي بِرَشِّهِ. The author said that it is enough for us to sprinkle water over it. لِحَدِيثِ أُمَّ قَيْسٍ بِنْتِ مُحْصَنٍ. For the reference of mother of Qais bint Muhsan, that أَنَّهَا أَتَتِي بِإِبْنِ اللَّهِ صَغِيرٍ. This woman had a baby, and she took the baby to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. لم يأكل الطعام إلا رسول الله. She took the baby to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فأجلسه في حجره. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sat the baby down between his two thighs, between his legs. فبال على ثوبه. Suddenly, the baby urinated on the clothes of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَدَعَى بِمَاءٍ. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam called for water. فَنَضَحَهُ وَلَمْ يَغْسِلْهُ. When the water was given to him, he only sprinkled the water over the cloth. He did not wash. According to the hadith, وَلَمْ يَغْسِلْهُ. He did not wash it. So that shows that in terms of purification, to purify any material touched by the urine, there are different ways, or there are two ways to that. Number one, if that urine has to be the urine of a male child that has not been eating food, the child is still being breastfed by the mother, what do we do? What Sharia asks us to do is to sprinkle water on it. That does not mean that the urine of that child is pure. No. It's still impure. But the way we relate with it is to sprinkle water on it. But the urine of any human being, a female child, even if that child is a gay female child, we have to wash it. Just like we wash the adults. The adults, whether male or female, we have to wash it. It's washing. We wash it. It's not sprinkle. Some of us will make mistake. Maybe we urine in a place where we could not get water to wash our body, and probably the urine touched the garment. Some will just sit down in the place where we perform ablution. I've seen so many adult people doing that. Some of them, if you correct them, they accept the correction. Some will look at you that, what are you saying? What I've been doing for years. They will just pack up their clothes like this, and they will take water, they just sprinkle like this. Why are you sleeping? Subhanallah. Your urine, you have to wash it. If you know the place, you wash it. And washing in Islam means sabbul ma. Sabbul ma. You pour water on it. So when you pour water, you wash. Even though if you don't squeeze the clothes, you have to pour water on it. So that is what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded the companions to do when that village Arab man came to the mosque. He asked them to pour water on the place. So when you pour water, you wash. Not until you squeeze with your two hands, your two palms, until you wash. No, it is not necessary for any ghusl in Islam. Any ghusl means sabbul ma. Sabbul ma. Pouring of water. Much water. That when you squeeze that cloth, water will be dropping. That's the meaning of ghusl in Sharia. So by the time you perform ghusl janaba and water is not coming out from the body, just know that you have not performed ghusl. Nobody will squeeze you, but water will come down. So we need to understand this definition. So if it's a female child, we treat the urine, the material like that also. But a male child that has not been eaten, if that child starts to eat rice, food, any kind of food, then even if it's just food, that cow food, the one we give our children with feeding bottle, then that child, we need to wash the garment touched by the urine of that male child. But any child that is still under breastfeeding, then we don't need to do that. We only need to sprinkle water. أما بول الغلام الذي يأكل طعام. They say that, but as for the case of the urine of the male child that has been eating, وكذا بول الجارية, and the urine of a female child, فإنه يغسل, then it has to be washed. كبول الكبير, just like the urine of an adult. So whether one is adult, whether one is young, whether one is an old person, the urine is urine. Any kind of urine of any human being is impure. So if that thing is impure, it shows that we cannot use it for medicine at any point in time. So urine does not cure fever, as some people believe. I don't know in the Hausa land, but when you were young, if someone fell sick, we say, take your urine and drink now. Your subi urine, take it. I don't know, but practice like this, sometimes it's spread all over the world. It has become part and parcel of the practice of people at tender age. So it will never be a medicine. And there is no one I would recommend that for us as a medicine. Because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Inna Allah idha anzala anzala ma'ahu dawa. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the illness, the disease. Allah will send along with that illness medicine to cure it. Alimahu man alima wa jahila man jahil. Those who know will know. Those who do not know will not know. As we don't know the cure for cancer, that does not mean that cancer does not have medicine. It has. That is Aqidah, the belief of the Muslim. You have to believe that. So it's not an excuse because the scientists or whatever they call themselves, since they cannot find solution to it, you say there's no medicine. No, there's medicine. Where is it? We don't know, but there's medicine. We have to establish it. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Inna Allah lam yaj'al shifa'akum fi ma harram alaykum. Allah never put your cure on whatever He has made forbidden upon you. Then in one of the verses of the Quran, Allah says, وَيُحَرِّمُ عَلَيْهِمْ الْخَبَائِثِ. Khabith. Khabith means something that we dislike, we detest. So whatever Sharia has detested, has disliked, we should give it priority, that we must detest the same thing. So urine can never be a cure for any disease. It is impurity. And when you're using impurity for cure, then it will only increase that sickness. So we understand that the urine of any human being is impure. Whether the person is a mad person, the person is a sane person. Whether the person is born by American president, urine is urine. Whether the person is an African, urine is urine. Urine is urine. And the rule of urine in Islam is impure. That we must wash our body. If that urine comes out of our body, then we need to do the al-wudu or al-istinja. We wash the part. After washing the part, then it calls for ablution. It calls for ablution. Or tayammum. We have to purify ourselves. So if we don't want to perform ablution, at least we must purify ourselves from it. We must. So we should say it like that. So when we say it like this, then it will make us to understand how do we relate with urine at any point in time. Urine of any human being. It is not what we just we are not being cautious of. Some of us are not being cautious of it. It's only the feces. I don't want to step on it. But urine, we don't bother. We don't bother. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what will be one of the causes of the punishment for people in the grave is through the urine, the splashing of the urine in their body. In Sahih Bukhari, in Sahih Muslim, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was going out, he passed by a grave, by two graves, and he said that those who are in this grave, they are being punished. He said, إِنَّهُمَ يُوَذَّبَانِ وَمَا يُوَذَّبَانِ فِي كَبِيرٍ. They are not being punished for committing grave sin, major sin. But he said, أَمَّا أَحَدُهُمَا. But one of them, لَا يَسْتَبْرَأْ مِنَ الْبَوْلِ. He is not cautious of urine. He allows urine to splash to his garment. So whenever you want to urine, you need to understand that. You need to be cautious. Pack your clothes. Don't allow anything of urine to touch your body. This because it's impure. I know it's not being recommended by the doctor, but just let's take it like that. This is what Sharia has recommended. Even if the doctor recommended that, we know how we feel it. Let's look to talk of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So urine of any sort is impure. So if urine of any human or of any human being touches any garment that you want to use, whether it's your own urine or urine of any human being or your child or anything, if that child has not been eating food, then, and that child is a male child, you sprinkle. So if that child is a female, the way you relate with it, with the urine of an old person, is the way you relate with the female child urine. You wash the place. So a cloth, a garment touched by urine of any kind, we cannot use it to observe salat. Because to observe salat, we make the three materials neat, purified from impurity: your garment, your body, then the place of worship. The place of worship. And this is the reason why our young children, we don't bring them to the mosque. We don't bring them to the mosque. We don't. We allow them to stay at home. Because when we bring them to the mosque, one or two of them will urinate in the mosque. And that thing it may cause problems sometimes when we are on salat. And a child does urinate in the first row, then next row. What do you do? All of you. The salat has scattered now. It's only the imam that will continue the salat. All of you will just be talking. So we allow our children to stay at home. So the same thing is the ruling of feces. Urine and feces. Yes, the scholars they agree upon that. The feces of any human being, you have to wash it. You remove it and you wash it. You remove it from the material, from the garment, from the place, from the body, then you still wash the place. You wash it. You have to do that. So even if that child is a day old, you have to wash the faces of that child on your body. Then, but in the case of Qayhu, the vomit is a point of controversy, as we said. Number 2, Adamu al-Masfub min al-Hayawan al-Ma'kul. The gushing blood of the eatable animal. The gushing blood of the eatable animal. When you slaughter a cow is an eatable animal. Cow, camel, goat, ram, chicken, fowl, all these, they are eatable animals in Sharia. You are permitted to eat them. So when you slaughter any one of them, the blood will gush out. That blood, some people will collect it in a bowl. Some even will drink it. Some will leave it for some hours. After that, they boil it. After boiling it, it becomes solid. In Yoruba, we call it brusin or kari ile. By the time that thing is fried with palm oil, you will like it. But it is haram. It is haram. With the verse of the Quran, Surah Al-An'am verse 65. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Awdaman masfuha. Gushing blood. Gushing blood is part of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden upon every human being. We don't eat it. We don't lick it. We don't drink it. We don't boil it. Any sort of cooking or preparation, you must not. It is haram. It is haram. For the animals, for the eatable animals. Then what do you want to say for the uneatable animals, like pig? So there is no doubt. There is a general ruling that says that anything from non-eatable animals has the ruling of that non-eatable animal. Non-eatable animal is haram. Anything from it is what? It's haram. Pig is naturally dirty. You can see it now. But we are not talking of dirtiness. We are talking of impurity. Impurity is different from dirtiness. We said it last week. A person may be dirty. A person may be dirty, but not impure. A person may be impure, but with some people may not be dirty. You see, not every impure person is dirty. But in Islam, when someone is impure, don't talk of dirtiness. It's already dirty. It's already dirty. So for the animals that we don't eat, like pig is naturally impure. It's naturally impure. So blood of pig, feces of pig, urine of pig, anything from pig is what? It has the rule of the pig. We must understand that. But for the animal that we eat, as we said, the blood of that animal is impure. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Qul, tell them, Qul la ajdu fima uhiya ilayya min ta'imin yata'amuhu, that I have not seen of what Allah has revealed to me. That's Quran chapter An-An'am verse 65. Of food that we eat, illa ayakuna mayta, it will be an animal that dies without slaughtering, or dama masfuha, or gushing blood. So any blood that we take from the eatable animal, then we should know that that blood is not used for anything. We don't eat it, and also we don't sell it. Anything we don't eat, we don't sell. Anything we don't eat, we don't buy. That's the Islamic rulings on that, the principles. Then, number 3, بول وروث كل حيوان غير معقول اللحم. The urine and the feces, the dung of every animal or any animal that we don't eat, as we said, kalir. No, I made mention of pig and dog. We don't eat dog. We don't eat dog. Then another example is cat. Cat. When cat is alive, it should do meow. It's neat. It's pure. It's neat and pure. But if that cat dies, does it have the same rule? Even if you slaughter it, it's Bismillah Allah Akbar. No, we don't eat cats. Why? Because it's falls under carnivorous animals. And carnivorous animals, we don't eat them. According to the verse of the Quran. Illa ma'akalahu sabr. We don't eat sabr. Then, the case of the urine, the bowl, the urine and the feces. The urine and the feces of the animal like that, so that we don't eat their flesh. Once we don't eat their flesh, then their urine and also their feces are also impure. But that does not mean that it has the same ruling with the saliva of the cat. Cat is one of the pets that we allow in Sharia to use, to live with us in the houses, in our various homes. Somebody came to ask Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I have a cat, and somebody came to me saying that if that cat should use his tongue to lick water from the bowl, that water is not used for ablution anymore. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no, innaha min at-tawafin wa at-tawafati bikum. No, cat is part of the animal that lives with you in your house. That there is no way you cannot excuse yourself from it. And this hadith makes some scholars to believe that even the urine of the cat and the feces of the cat also is still pure. It's still pure. The urine of the cat, the feces of the cat also is still pure. Because if the Prophet ﷺ said that they are part of the tawafat, they are part of those pets that we have in our houses, that there is no way that we cannot keep ourselves away from them. We relate together. So some scholars will say that the urine of the cat is also pure. The feces of the cat is also pure. Because the saliva of the cat is also pure. So why we have some scholars like the authors of this book, that they say that no, the urine of the cat and the feces of the cat is najis. Then number 4, Al-Mayta. Al-Mayta is any animal that we are allowed to eat, the eatable animal, but it is not slaughtered in the way and the manner that an animal should be slaughtered. For instance, a cow. If that cow is eat by an accident, by a car, by anything, or by a blow, and the animal dies like that, we call that animal Mayta. Some people misunderstand. They think that Mayta is the non-eatable animal that dies without slaughtering. Like dog. If dog dies without slaughtering, they will say the dog is what is Mayta. No, that is misconception, misunderstanding. Whether you slaughter it, even you like to recite the whole Quran, when you are slaughtering it, it's still haram. But we use the word Mayta for any eatable animal, the permissible animal, al-an'am, camel, cow, and the rest like that, the fowl, the Sharia has allowed us to eat. So before we eat them, then we have to say Bismillah. It's condition. Wallahu Akbar is Sunnah. If you don't say Wallahu Akbar, the animal is still permissible for you to eat. Allah says, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا مِمَّا لَمْ يُذْكَرُ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ فَإِنَّهُ فِسْقٌ. Don't eat any animal, eatable animal that the name of Allah has not been mentioned. It is what? It is a sin. So if someone wants to slaughter a ram, but the person is a talkative, he talks so much, he busy himself with talking until he cuts the two veins, the two jugular veins. At the end of the day, the animal dies like that. Can we eat that animal? Some scholars will say that we can eat it because it is slaughtered and the name of Allah is not mentioned out of forgetfulness, not deliberate action. Those scholars, they have their reference with the evidence in Sahih Muslim, though that evidence is not direct to the point that they are using it for. But when some people came to meet one of the wise prophets that we have some people who just accepted Islam, and sometimes they give us slaughtered animal. We don't know whether they mention Allah's name or we didn't mention Allah's name. So when Muhammad was asked, he said, Sammu wa kulu, you mention Bismillah and you eat it. But when you look at this reference, you see that this reference is not, this reference is not in supporting with their own position. So the best position is that if someone forgets to say Bismillah, you should know that animal is condemned. It's condemned. Because the verse of the Quran says, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا, don't eat مِمَّا لَمْ يُذْكَرُ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ, on whatever Allah's name has not been mentioned. Then Muhammad said, مَا أَنْهَرُ دَمْ, any animal slaughtered that much of the blood comes out, وَذَكَرَ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ, and the last mention is mentioned on it, فَكُلْ, eat. So we have to mention the names of Allah. So what we are seeing is that any animal slaughtered that the name of Allah is not mentioned, then whatever be the cause of the death of that animal we call Mayta. And Mayta is najis, is impure. Mayta is impure. Then, but we have some exception regarding the Mayta. One of them is as-samak, the fish, or the fishes. Though scholars normally use that exception. Why? Because we have domestic, we have aquatic animal, then we have terrestrial animal. But the ruling of aquatic animal is different from domestic animal. During Ramadan, we had a lecture here regarding the Islamic rulings on food and drink. We explain in details what are the things that we are permitted to eat as Muslims. So, the fish, you don't need to say Bismillah. In fact, we don't slaughter fish. If you take Okweko, Titus, and say Bismillah, Allah Akbar, it's Bidya. It's Bidya. Why are you slaughtering? Because Allah has given us the ruling that it's life. Its life is halal. Its death is also halal. It's pure. Why are you bothering yourself? That is why we are chanced to buy dead fishes anywhere. Even if you can eat it like that, life, you put it in your mouth, no problem. Nobody will query you. Because it is not that it must be killed. No, it is not. So the dead stomach, then wal jarad, it's time. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. والسلام على رسول الله. Questions? وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
I have two questions. The first one is about compass. Sometimes
About compass.
Compass. Like, sometimes they will set trap and go to the house. And the next day when they got the animal might have been dead.
What is constant?
Trap.
Okay, trap. Okay.
And the next day when they get there, the animal might have been dead.
Yes.
And the second one is going to the canteen to buy food. And we don't know if they slaughter them meat in the halal.
Now, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulullah. Any hunter that wants to hunt, that person must have Islamic education on guiding the hunting. It's part of what we explain during our Ramadan weekly lecture here. As hunter, you at the time that you are putting the trap, you say Bismillah Wallahu Akbar, because that trap is just like using knife. So if fortunately the trap catches and the animal is torn into pieces to the level that you can see that blood comes out, then take the dead animal and eat it. But if you get there, the trap catches the animal, but there is no any sign of blood coming out or came out from it. If you meet the animal still breathing, then you slaughter it. You do the slaughtering. But if the animal is dead, you cannot eat it. You can't eat it. Because that trap just only eats it. Just like you send a punch of blood to an animal. So if that animal should die like that, you don't eat it. Because it is a condition that much of the blood of that animal must come out. Then number 2, can we just enter any canteen and buy food with meat? It depends on the environment we find ourselves. If we find ourselves in Nigerian environment, in this society, we know that we have the abattoirs. And those who slaughter animals, they are either Muslims or Christians. And in Islam, we are allowed to eat any animal slaughtered by the Muslims and the Christians. And also the Jews. But we have the Muslims and the Christians in Nigeria. Majority, they are Muslims. They're from Ilorin or from Ibadan. Those who do the slaughtering of the animals at abattoirs. So, you don't need to make any inquiry. Like, Mama, this malu, how did we slaughter it? But if we should be doing that, we find things difficult to ourselves. And we cannot apply that to anything that we want to eat. At the end of the day, we find our life so difficult. But if we feel or we observe that in an area, the way and manner that people relate with slaughtering of animal is wrong, then you have to be very careful. For instance, the selling of goats, those who sell goats are different from those who sell cows. Those who sell goats, they don't slaughter their goats the way and manner that are meant for Muslims to consume. Of what I know in Lagos State, the way they slaughter it, when that goat is alive, they will use hot iron rod. They will use it to make hole, to slap that goat until just little of the blood will come out. At the end of the day, as they will burn it. After burning, it's dead already. They will not burn it. They will not use knife just to cut it as if they slaughter it. They will use blood to touch the place, so that when you see it, you believe that this animal is slaughtered in Sharia manner. I have known that with them for 12 years ago, and we tried to communicate with the chairman of that goat something. He said, "No, that's what we need to do." He was a Muslim then. I don't know who is the chairman now, but the chairman then was a Muslim. He came from Ibadan. He said, "This thing is wrong. This is haram. Why are you giving all this food? It's haram for us to eat this thing." There's nothing we can do. That is our agreement. Then, just this Ramadan, I went to Ijoro Lopa. So somebody told me that there's someone there who sells goat meat in the normal way. So when we meet the person, say, we know because we are fan now, I know, we give you halal goat meat. How do you slaughter it? Let me tell you the truth. It is still the same thing, Wallahi. This Ramadan. And the man that even said, he said, if you come back now, people like you too, that they do this goat meat selling. The way we kill it is the way they kill their own. There is one a bleak now. He will soon come now. So you ask him, you see the same thing. That's it, subhanallah. But the reason for them to do that is that they will buy the animal of 15,000 naira. And if they allow much blood of this animal to come out, to gush out, they won't see much gain from it. Because the animal is not that big. They will not allow much blood to stay in, so that animal will become big. And it will become reddish. And when you see it, you like it. This animal is subhanallah. So if we are in the case like that, I cannot give the fatwa that someone can eat goat meat in the carton. I can never do that, because what I've made research on, and we even talk to the chairman. So what I would advise is that any carton you go to, don't buy any goat meat. But with exception, if what I observe is that the Igbos that they sell Igbo food, Eba Igbo, they normally buy complete goats, and they will call someone to slaughter it. So you don't need to make any inquiry whether the person called to slaughter it is a Muslim, is a Christian, is a Jew. You don't need to make inquiry. When you go to eat Eba Igbo, you can buy goat meat, because they are the ones that they slaughter it themselves. And they do it, we even met them too. We talk to them, we encourage them. But for our Muslim brothers, subhanallah, who are selling goat meat, they are not been doing something good with the community. Wallahi, Lagos State. This is what I know. But for the cow meat, no. Any country that you enter, you don't need to ask, Mama, how did you slaughter it? You don't need to ask. You don't make that question. You don't ask. Now.
In your lecture,
Now.
about the bringing child in the mosque, possibly in
Okay.
At what point is it allowed to or not to?
The child.
Possibly
When do we bring our children to the mosque? We bring them to the mosque when we know that they can pray. If you know that they can play, don't bring them to the mosque. When we know that they can pray, we bring them to the mosque. When you know that they can play, let them stay at home and play. In Tafsir ibn Kathir, it is reported that Umar used to beat some children, and they come to the mosque to pray, to play. Mosque is not a place where children will come to play. Some will not be citing the sample of the reference of Umama, that Prophet used to bring Umama to the mosque. Out of all the children of the companions, it is only Umama. It's only the Prophet that had grandchild. Can't you cite another examples of some companions? Abu Bakr had children, Umar had children, all of them, majority of them they had children. How many of them brought their children to the mosque? But because of the Prophet did that, only him and the rest did not do that. There is no any report. It shows that their attitude with our attitude are the same. The children stay with their mothers, not with their fathers. So the mothers pray at home. They pray with their children. They stay with their children at home. As we are here now, we don't have our children. So that is the same attitude with them. But for the Prophet ﷺ to have come with Umama, sometimes, so it shows that okay, if you are alone, you can do that. You can do that. So even some scholars will say that you check Sahih Muslim, Imam Nawawi, and some other books. They will say that, and that is why the scholars they will say that we should take our children out of the mosque. The mad people out of the mosque. The mad people, the insane people out of, because these people they will mess up with the mosque and they will not be punished by Sharia or by Allah. So if you want to bring our children to the mosque, bring them at the time that you know that okay, if you get to the mosque and the salat has already been observed, your child should know what to do at the age of 6, 10 years, that age of 10 years. But any child of 2, 3, 4 years, some people will not bring a 5 days old child to the mosque. What are you practicing sunnah? It is not sunnah that you bring child to the mosque. It is not sunnah. It is not sunnah you bring a child to the mosque. The sunnah is that we all work hand together, hand to hand, to make mosque neat, to make mosque useful for what Allah SWT has organized the mosque for. And the mosque is for a place where we observe salat. And it's not only impurity, making noise, playing, shouting. All these we must do away with everything in the mosque, except what will be maybe in the course of lecture or in the course of religious argument. No problem with that. But ordinary talking, ordinary shouting, or we allow our children to be running here and there in the mosque, there's no room for that in Sharia. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.